Hello and welcome to this week's auction update. Kevin Brogan will join me in just a moment as we find out that the market has bounced back over the weekend. Sydney reaching over 80%. Prelim clearance, of course. Weighted average around Australia has improved, and Brisbane almost cracked 60%. Back with Kevin Brogan and more details in just one moment.
In today's market, great ideas alone simply aren't enough, but innovative execution can hand you a real competitive advantage. Nightlight is a cutting-edge illuminated signboard by Printforce that offers round-the-clock visibility and features that maximise advertising space, improving your exposure. Buyers can now see the full picture, day or night, with Nightlight's edge-to-edge illuminated surface, which utilises environmentally friendly, scratch-resistant technology. Now available in 6x4 and 8x4. Nightlight is as versatile as you need to be in today's market. Let your clients know you're working day and night for them, and then prove it with Nightlight.
Welcome back to the show, and welcome also to Kevin Brogan from CoreLogic. Hello, Kevin. The market bounced back over the weekend as we bring up the clearance rates. Talk us through this one, Kevin.
Yeah, look, I think last week we did see the combined capital clearance drop down below 70% for the first time in 8 weeks. But certainly I was asked a few questions about that. But I think to put it in context, there was a number of public holidays around the country. And Sydney, which you can see has performed very strongly this week, was not represented as strongly, given that there were only 300 auctions. So it's certainly true to say the market's bounced back. But I think, as I said last week, last week's results had to be interpreted in the context of what else was going on in terms of public holidays and sporting events.
Yeah, well, certainly a wonderful rebound there for Sydney, as you said, up over 80%, 82.3%. Admittedly, there are still a number of auctions to be reported on yet, so that will likely come down. Do you feel that the weighted average at the end of the week is still going to be over 70%?
Yeah, look, Kevin, I think it will be. Just to divert attention from Sydney and Melbourne for a moment, as you said in your introduction, Brisbane put in a much stronger showing this week than last week. Also, Adelaide at over 78%, Canberra at over 78%. So last week, with the impact of public holidays, some of those smaller capital city markets really sort of didn't pull their weight, if you like, in that weighted average. This week, I think we've got a much stronger performance all around, not just in Sydney and Melbourne.
Yes, well, I think as we're going to go through the top sales in just a moment too, there were a number of sales, very high value sales that were recorded after auction and some even pre-sales, but we'll take you through those in just a moment. Firstly, let's jump into the Sydney sub-regions, and we'll bring up our top sale in just one moment. Sydney sub-regions, what do we see there, mate? A really good performance from a number of areas, really.
Absolutely, and one that you probably won't have seen at the top of the table before, Blacktown. Now,
no,
admittedly,
right.
that is a really low number of auctions. We've only got 10 results out of 17 auctions, but nonetheless, it is a testament to the strength of the market overall. You've got a number in there. Also Inner West at over 90%, and then City and Inner South at 88.7%. Now you'd more likely expect to see those regions as well as the Northern Beaches at the sort of top of the table. But if you just cast an eye down the list there's a lot of sub-regions there above 80%. So pretty solid performance almost across the board there.
Yeah, well, North Sydney and Hornsby, of course, the most number of sales, and even that recording 81.8%. And that's the area that we would like to feature our top sale from as we take you to our Just Click video highlight on 89 Bray Street at Mossman. 5,025,000. Di Jones, Christine and Andy selling this one. 5 bedrooms, 2 bathroom, 1 car. 180-degree views of Middle Harbour. Just have a look at those views. Large heated swimming pool. Magnificent home, this one, Kevin.
Look, it certainly is. I mean, it's a grand 1930s home, very solid looking, obviously built with that semicircular balcony to take advantage of the views there. Very brief walk to the intriguingly named Quaker's Hat and Beauty Point, only 12 kilometres away from the Sydney CBD. The property last sold in 2012 for 3.2 million. Just to give you an idea of the sort of capital growth that we've seen in this area. The median price in Mossman, 3.7 million. Now that is down 8% on 2018. But when you consider how the market softened across the high value properties in Sydney, you know, Mossman probably holding its own better than some regions.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, off to Melbourne now. We're going to tell you about two sales here, but before we do, let's have a look at the sub-regions. And Kevin Brogan once again giving us an insight as to what happened there. Some pretty tidy results across those regions, Kevin.
Absolutely, and fairly strong performance across the entire Melbourne metropolitan area. I mean, we saw 977 auctions this week, and there are several sub-regions there with well over 100 auctions. As we've reported for several weeks, the outer east really leading the charge, that 87.5%. Inner east at 83.2%, but then all of the other regions sitting there in the mid to high 70% at least. So really solid performance right the way across the city.
Indeed, and our top Melbourne sale, we'll take you to that video straight up, and that's out of Toorak, and this is a sale under the hammer. Wasn't the biggest sale out of Melbourne, Victoria, but it was the biggest sale under the hammer, $5 million by R.T. Edgar for 4 Narib Court at Toorak. Jeremy and Sarah selling this 5-bedder. A 1960s home, north-facing block, 23-metre frontage, no heritage on this one, so I would imagine this is probably going to be a knockdown, Kevin.
Look, I think that's possibly the case. I mean, this is in a very quiet cul-de-sac location. You know, obviously people from outside Melbourne have heard of Toorak. It's one of the premium residential locations in Melbourne. We've mentioned previously a measure of how tightly held properties are is the average length of ownership, 14 years in Toorak. Median house price 2.97 million, and that's actually down from 4.35 million in 2018. So it's quite a drop. But as you said, this property, 1960s brick built, really wide frontage. So plenty of scope here. I suspect that although the marketing materials suggest this property may be renovated, I suspect you're right. This is probably going to be a redevelopment. Yeah,
too much value in the land, I would think. I want to tell you also about a sale that occurred after auction, and this one was by Little Real Estate. We're mentioning this one because it's $5,175,000, 7 Ruby Street, Hawthorn. We're not going to show a video on this one, but lift access over 3 levels, a wine room, a home gym, and a yoga room in this property. So congratulations to Jeffrey Wilson and Sean White from Little Real Estate selling that one. Let's take you to the top Brisbane sale now. This one from Bulimba, a wonderful suburb. This one, stroll down to Oxford Street from 32 Princess Street at Bulimba, $2,085,000, LJ Hooker Avenue. Tanya Douglas selling this one in conjunction with Nicholas Given, who is a co-agent from Ray White. 5-bedroom, 4-bathroom, as I said, stroll down to Oxford Street. Great for a growing family, very functional, open plan living in this very stylish Bulimba home, Kevin.
Yeah, look, this property, Kevin, was built in 2012. It's a very modern style, very well appointed. Last sold when presumably it was brand new in 2013 for 1.8 million, just to give you an idea of the capital growth. Now we just mentioned how good the length of ownership and how tightly held properties were in Toorak, but I mean in Bulimba we've actually got 14 years as the average length of ownership. Median price here 1.35 million. So this is obviously, even in Bulimba, a standout property. And that's actually an increase of 15% since 2017. So some sort of enduring demand in Bulimba.
Indeed. We're going to take a short break now, come back and we'll tell you about the other sales around Australia as they occurred. And, of course, our auction update every Monday and Friday, brought to you with the compliments of CoreLogic. Kevin Brogan joins me with the most up-to-date rundown on all the properties right around Australia. We'll be back in just a moment. We'll take you inside the top South Australian home.
Hi everyone, my name's Nick and I'm the Country Manager here at Beepo. We offer outsourcing services for real estate agencies that are looking to become significantly more productive and efficient. Let me give you a bit of a rundown about how our real estate team actually works. At Beepo, we have many positions to assist our clients in the real estate industry. These include sales assistants, trust account and marketing staff. We also have a couple of our most popular products, the property management assistants and Rock End property assistants.
Welcome back to the show. 13 Brogham Court. I got caught up on that one. North Adelaide, Kevin.
That's all right. I'm going to use a bit of local knowledge.
Please do.
We pronounced it Brougham.
Thank you.
In Adelaide, although in my previous home of Bath, it was Broome.
Oh.
Look, this property was advertised for 1.1 million. It is a heritage-listed Victorian villa built in the 1890s. It's located in a very quiet cul-de-sac. It's only 2 kilometres from the CBD, and this is really quite a select area. It's known as the Cathedral Precinct. Broome Court is probably a location where there aren't quite such grand homes, but nonetheless, this one is heritage listed. And it looks as if it's in need of some TLC. But I mean, that auction result at just over 1.3 million goes to show that in this location, there is still quite a strong demand for this type of character property.
There you go. Broome. Is that right? Did I get that right?
Oh, here it's Brougham.
Brougham. Okay.
In England, Broome.
Oh, okay, well, we'll move on. But congratulations to Richard Hayward from Clements selling that one. Let's take you to the ACT now. Griffith, I got that one right.
Yes.
One Blacksland Crescent or Court, not quite sure. 1,865,000. Peter Blackshaw's Albert Stavrak selling this 3-bedder. Brand new townhouse, blue ribbon location, very good location in Griffith.
Oh, absolutely. Look, this is only a couple of kilometres to the east of Parliament House. As seems often to be the case when we talk about properties from Canberra, this one is directly opposite some open ground. In this instance, it's the St Edmunds College playing fields. This is a stunning new dwelling built to an incredibly high standard, and it really does stand out in this area. I mean, it was last sold 2017 for $1.5 million. The median price in Griffith, 1.34 million, which is down about 9% from 2018. But I think the quality and location of this property really have set it apart and yielded a very successful result.
Very good. And finally, we'll take you to WA now. And our top sale there, Tom and Andrea Ease from tomease.com selling this home at 13 Bland Street, Kensington. Nothing bland about this one at all. For 805,000, 2-bedder. A quiet location, unusual shape of the block. I think this is sort of put about some restriction on what you could build there. It's a 2-bedder. Kevin?
Yeah, look, this is a triangular block, 723 square metres. Now, it is slightly elevated, and I think that's going to be the attraction. This is a 1960s brick-built property. It's been sold under the instructions of the Department of Communities. And I think even though this block is triangular in shape and may present some restrictions, nonetheless, the road frontage is quite wide. And I think the main driver here is for a redevelopment of this site. And it would certainly take, quite a substantial home. Median price here, 896,000, and that is up about 7.5% on 2018. And as we've often mentioned in the Perth market, it has been quite soft for some time. This is only just about 5 kilometres or so south of the Perth CBD, so the location is pretty good, and that elevated position might yield some views to the right development project.
Yeah, interesting market, Perth. As we watch what happens there, the market seems to be showing some green shoots. Talking to agents during the week, Kevin, there's sort of, there's some renewed hope in Western Australia. So I certainly hope that continues to improve. And that sale there, congratulations to the team. Just before we leave you, a quick run back to our preliminary results showing 77.3%, CoreLogic reporting that. Sydney at 82.3, Melbourne 76.7, Brisbane 59.4, Adelaide 78.4, Perth 42.1, and Canberra quite respectable 78.5%. And Kevin, you're predicting over 70% by the end of the week?
I'd like to think so. There's fairly strong performance all around the capital city markets this week.
Kevin Brogan from CoreLogic, thank you so much for your time, my friend, and I look forward to catching up with you on Friday when you will bring us the most comprehensive rundown and the complete rundown of all auctions in the preceding week. And we'll also have a look at what's coming up in the week ahead as well. Kevin Brogan, thank you very much. Have a good week, my friend.
Thanks very much, Kevin. Looking forward to speaking to you soon.